Mickey.
JC.
Good evening, my beloved Beyond the Call of Duty friends and family, and good evening to all of our EOW family members. Got beautiful Mickey over here with us, our chaplain from Spokane PD.
It's good to be here.
Oh my God, it's great to have you. We haven't seen each other since
the ball.
Yeah, the ball, October.
Yeah, October.
Yeah, so it's great having him here. I called him and we were chatting. And I said, "Hey, I'm doing live and we've got a special guest." And I said, "Would you mind coming and holding my hand and keeping me in line and making sure that I don't cross that sin line?"
Yeah.
So, it's a beautiful Friday, Mickey.
It is.
24th of February, Friday evening. Seems like we're going to have snow again.
Yep.
Poor officers are out in the cold.
Yeah.
And it is cold. It is brutally cold.
Yeah, it is way cold here.
I mean, I went out just to get the garbage can and had to bundle up on that.
Yeah.
So
good night to think of our officers out there serving our communities for sure.
While we are here.
Yep.
The sheepdogs are out protecting.
Yep.
While we are resting.
Yes.
We're going to talk a little bit more. I actually asked Mickey to hold my hand tonight because I'm going to be a little vocal today.
All right.
Yeah. I think it's time that people actually heard and not cower away on the fact that these beautiful, beautiful men and women have a story to be told.
Yeah.
And let's humanize this badge.
Yeah.
Let's get away from this crazy world that we're living in with so much negative, toxic stuff being said, hateful stuff. Let's start talking about all these beautiful men and women and showing what's behind that badge.
Yeah.
And
they're just like us, right?
Oh,
they go to work every day. They
absolutely
have wives, families, their brothers, their sons, their fathers. Their mothers and baseball coaches, all that. They're just like us. They just do a different job that nobody wants to take the time to understand.
Yeah, understand or appreciate.
Right.
And we've got stories about not only police work, but my God, we've talked now, Mickey, for years on the fact that most of our beautiful men and women are vets.
Yeah.
And they've already served their community. They've already served their country.
Yes.
And now they're serving as a police officer.
Yes.
And then you throw in what you just said.
Yeah.
Coaches, mentors.
Yes.
Again, giving back to community.
The stories I like to see is when, as a chaplain, when I go on ride-alongs, the stories that never hit the news is the officer who takes money out of his own wallet to feed the homeless, to feed the single mom, to go get kids clothes. Those are the things that don't get heard or whatever, because they really do that job because they feel called to it and because they really, really care.
Yeah. And no one's forcing them.
No.
There's no policy out there that when we go in and get hired as a police officer that says when you're working, you will donate money, you will give money. There is nothing there. They're not being forced.
No.
But how many times you had a case in Spokane recently where the officers had I think some children that they went and bought.
Oh yeah, we had the Ukrainian where Spokane is housing a lot of Ukrainian refugees because of the war.
Right.
And just because he saw a need, he asked if the chaplaincy would help or whatever, and we helped gather funds or whatever and provided hundreds of blankets and bedding for families that are here, finding shelter here in Spokane, all because they saw a need and they wanted to fulfill it. Yeah. It was great. They raised thousands of dollars. Some people gave money. Some people just went and did the shopping themselves.
Right.
But this story in Spokane isn't unique. These stories happen all over the country or whatever, all over the world, because officers are there to help and they want to help. And we'll do that sometimes right out of their own pockets.
So I was talking to Shelly, and by the way, I'm going to introduce you to Shelly. She reached out to me. She's with Media One. They do videos and they make these programs just to bring awareness on law enforcement.
Yeah.
And she reached out to us because she realized that Beyond the Call of Duty is directly dealing with survivors.
Yeah.
And so she asked, is there any way I can connect survivors to her? And she wants to do these beautiful stories. And I then talked about you and the chaplaincy program. And she had asked, is there any way I can talk to the chaplains as well and do some videos?
Yeah.
Because I think it's important these stories get heard.
Yes.
I think it's important that we do remind everyone that what we've been doing for 3 years and saying we do not want these men and women forgotten.
Yeah.
We don't want them to be tarnished. I think it's important that we continue talking about them.
Yeah.
And tonight we're going to do the same thing. We're going to remember 3 remarkable men that have served their country, served their community.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about them. So I want to thank Yolks Fresh Food and Markets out of Spokane for being the 4th year sponsor for us.
Thank you, Yolks.
Yes, they came hot and heavy and reached out to us. And again, John Boyle and Scott, thank you from our hearts. So please, if you're in Spokane, Idaho, even in Montana now, and Tri-Cities, visit Yolks Fresh Food Markets, thank them, spend money on them so that they can feel the love from all of our followers. If you're anywhere or just shopping for holidays, they have great, great, great holiday food. So spend some money there, let them know, and thank them.
Yeah, thanks, Yolks.
Shall we just start with recognizing some of our fallen?
Yeah.
So
that's why we're here.
Yeah. So this strapping young man, he was killed in the line of duty. And if you want to read, this is Nicholas Scott
Gallinger.
Gallinger. Yeah.
He was from the Chattanooga Police Department in Tennessee. His end of watch was February 24th, 2019. Okay. Says police officer Nicholas Gallinger was struck and killed by a vehicle on the 2900 block of Hamel Road at 11 p.m. He was checking a manhole cover that had water overflowing when he was struck. Officer Gallinger was transported to a local hospital where he died short time later. The vehicle fled the scene after the striking him. The driver turned herself in 2 days later after being added to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation's 10 most wanted list. She was charged with vehicular homicide on September 25th, 2021. She was convicted of vehicular homicide by intoxication and 7 other counts related to the crash. She was subsequently sentenced to 11 years in prison on February 7, 2022. Officer Gallinger had just graduated the police academy, in 2019 and was in the field training at the time he was struck. Yeah. He's survived by his son, daughter, parents, 2 sisters, brothers, 2 grandmothers, and other relatives.
And again, here we go. He joined to serve, to protect.
Yeah.
And we have an individual get that after probably 9 years of good behavior, continue with the life, and his son misses his dad every day.
Right.
So. And then if you scroll down, this beautiful man is Corporal Nathan Allen Carrigan.
Mm-hmm. Pardon us if we mispronounce that. So his end of watch was February 24, 2016. Corporal Nate Kerrigan was shot and killed as he and 7 other deputies served a high-risk eviction order at a home on Iris Drive in Bailey, Colorado, approximately 9:15 a.m. The subject named on the eviction order was an activist in the Occupy Denver movement. The subject exited the home and then re-entered it, with Corporal Kerrigan and other deputies following back inside to stop him. The man was able to grab a rifle and opened fire, killing Corporal Kerrigan, wounding 2 other deputies. The subject was shot and killed by return gunfire. Corporal Kerrigan had served with the Park County Sheriff's Office for 13 years. Yeah. He is survived by his parents, sister, and 2 brothers.
Yeah, 13 years.
No.
So I think we'll do a quick salute to these beautiful men.
Yes.
And remind them from us to our hearts to their families and their loved ones. Keep their memories going. Talk about them. 2 beautiful men from Tennessee and from Colorado. So, salute. Well, our special guest, I was very, we've been asking because I want to keep the memories alive. I want to talk about the men and women.
Yeah.
And this beautiful lady reached out and said she wanted to talk about her son.
Hmm.
And then I heard some stories. And then Kris sent me some stuff. This beautiful young man is Kris.
Huh.
Handsome beard.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're going to talk about him. But I'm going to bring this up real quick because there's quite a bit that was written about him. And we're going to bring Joann in. So, but Kris did me a favor, and let's see where it is. You can talk.
Well, tonight we want to honor Kris Hutchison. He was born December 20th, 1989. Kris, or Christopher, as I call him, was a wonderful, loving child. He always did good in school. He loved his parents, 2 sisters and brother. He was always very protective of them. He had a great sense of humor and was always making us all laugh. He would do things like air dry after a shower where he would just sit around in a towel. Didn't matter who was over or what was going on. He would bring the party wherever he went. He had tons of friends growing up. Kids were constantly at the house with him, hanging out. He made people feel special. My son-in-law, before he was my son-in-law, was sitting in the house on Christmas with no heat on or electricity, and Kris called him to see what was going on. Once he found out, he immediately told him to come over and stay with us. He had a kind heart and a kind soul. He got the worst tattoo at 18. It was just the letters of SUM and stood for straight up monster. He realized shortly after that it was an awful tattoo and quickly got it recovered up. Christopher had lots of tattoos. I always told him, don't tattoo a woman's name on your body. But the minute he turned 19, he had my name tattooed on his arm under a Celtic cross. He said, but you are my mom. You won't ever leave me. He had a point. He joined the U.S. Marine Corps after graduating high school, and it was one of the proudest accomplishments. He got to travel the world, lived in different places, one of which was Okinawa, Japan, which he loved. His sister got pregnant while he was living in Japan, and he saved up for his leave for a year so that he could be here when the baby was born and get to meet his nephew. Man, family guy. He was a huge baby hog that visit. He was always the first to wish everyone happy birthday, happy anniversary. He never forgot anyone's special day. When the COVID lockdown happened and his sister had to leave or had to have her birthday in lockdown, he drove his patrol car along with a couple other cops down her street, blaring Celebration by Kool and the Gang and flashing his lights. He was always one of the first to help whether it was helping his sisters and brother move or building a ramp for his grandfather when he came out of the hospital in a wheelchair. He had a nickname for everyone, and he never met a stranger. He could have a conversation with anyone or anything about anything. He met the love of his life while he was in the Marines and married her in 2012. Then they had their first child, went on to have their second one in 2018. Christopher was the best dad, and his children were his world. He was always on their level, reading the books or just playing with them. He would dress as Santa on Christmas morning just to surprise them. He was very protective of them, and I'm sure that had a lot to do with the things he saw as being an officer, I'm sure. He claimed to be a Viking, so one of his funerals was a Viking funeral that his wife promised to give him if he were to go first. I could go on all day telling stories about him. He was so much more than a police officer. He was a husband. He was a father. He was a son, a brother, a nephew, a grandson, and an uncle, and he was the best at all of them. He is so very missed, and there's a big piece of our family gone, but I can't wait to kiss and hug him once again. We look forward to that too.
Yeah. Christopher Hutchison. End of watch was October 27th, 21. And I'd like you all to say a prayer for him, but more importantly, let's welcome his mom.
Hi. Hello.
Hello,
I said I
Joann.
was going to cry.
Yeah, we're sorry. We
It's
are
okay.
truly sorry.
That's okay.
Thanks for joining us and telling your story. It's important. I know probably for you. I know it can't be easy, but thanks for wanting to keep his memory alive. We're blessed to be a part of it. Thank you.
Of
So
course.
one of the weirdest things after reading what you wrote, um, ironically, I have a Celtic cross on my back.
Do you?
Yeah, with three initials in it.
Wow. That's
So,
neat.
so I get it.
Yeah.
So, tell us about him. Tell everybody about him. Let's talk about who he was. Let's get away from let's again humanize the badge. Let's humanize Kris and let the world know who he was.
Okay. Christopher, he was just an amazing person. He was a good person. Um, always helping. He was always the first on holidays, anniversaries to call and wish his loved ones, happy birthday, happy anniversary. He loved the holidays. He loved any time that we got to get together as a family and, have food and drinks and fun. He was a big family man.
Yeah,
He was always, like I said, ready to help, whether it was moving, helping his sisters move, helping his grandparents with anything that they need, just helping anybody. You could just call him up and he was there. He didn't even think twice about it.
yeah,
He
yeah.
was just there. Yeah.
No, that's just from the pictures, and we often talk, and when we do the ride, one of the most humbling things for me is realizing that about 90% of these beautiful men and women are veterans, and
Yes.
they've already served, and that's not enough for them. They want to come back home and serve even more. And
Yes.
so our hearts go out to all of them, and even in this case, my heart goes out to you and to Kris's family, and just the loss is huge. It's it can't be. Uh, it doesn't stop. I talk to my survivors when I meet them in person, and we understand. We know that your clock stopped that day. We
Uh-huh.
know, we know that you can tell us what time you were notified, what you were doing. You can tell us everything, and then you will turn around and say, then the next 3 days were a blur,
Hmm.
and you don't even remember what you had to eat in those 3 days.
Yeah.
And then you go into the 3 months of waiting for that phone to ring, or that email, or that text. And then you get hit with an anniversary date or a birth date. And
Yeah.
then you get to, you're going in your case, you rolled right into Thanksgiving and you rolled right into Christmas. And now
And
we
his birthday.
have his birthday, yeah. And we have an empty chair, and that
Hmm.
chair doesn't ever get filled.
No, it doesn't.
And a lot of people don't realize and I try to explain this to the general public that, yeah, everyone has debts, but a uniform death is a lot more powerful. And there's so much that individual leaves behind that those pieces take years and years and years and years to pick up. So,
Yes.
so our hearts truly go out to you, and anything we can do through beyond the call of duty, anything even the chaplains can do, we'll always be there for you. We'll always be there for your family. We'll always be a phone call away, and we will then come and meet you in person.
Thank you so much. Y'all are so amazing. I did meet you in June.
Yeah,
You prayed with me.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Y'all are amazing. You are. And I also, COPS,
yes,
the organization.
yeah.
Um, I, me and my husband went to parents retreat in October, and it is amazing.
It
I mean,
is.
there's so much love. The minute we got off that airplane, nothing but love.
Yeah, and I have we have Eddie Gomez, Amy, and Tracy, and we really push for them. They are all survivors,
Uh-huh.
huge advocates of cops, and uh, I just really believe those retreats can give you that extra help that you need.
Yeah,
Uh,
they do.
yeah,
They do. And it's something that I plan on going to every year now.
yeah,
We've made some good lifelong friends. So,
yeah. Unfortunately, you're in a club that you don't want to be in, but you know what? You're in a club that understands
yes.
where you are today and what's going on, and
Hmm.
understands that pain, and and you know they can't take it away, but we can make it a little bit softer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, we're gonna get you down and come over here to the Northwest, right?
Sounds
Sure.
good to me.
I think you need to come visit us over here for a few days, and
Gladly.
yeah, we'll make it happen. We're we're doing some events over here this year, and we'll reach out and let you know in advance and see if your husband and you would like to come down,
Okay.
uh, and yeah, we'll bring some other survivors and just hang out and enjoy yourselves a little bit.
That sounds wonderful.
Well, we thank you. Would you like to leave all of our viewers with any message or?
Um, hold your family close. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold them close, hug them tight, love them, let
Yeah.
them know that they're loved.
Yes.
Never, never forget them.
Exactly.
So we love you, Joann. Thank you again for being on with us. Thank
Yeah.
you for letting us share Chris's story.
Of
Uh,
course.
please, anytime you want to come on and nudge us and remind us to talk about him and yourself,
Okay.
do that. Let us know, and we'd love you back again, and we'll
That
talk.
could happen a lot because I do enjoy talking about him.
Well, I think you should just do that. Make let's do another round and get some different photographs and talk, and let's do that.
Okay. That sounds good to me.
Just get a hold of Kris and set it up, and let's just do that. I think it's good.
Yes, I do too.
So let's
Yeah.
make that happen.
Yeah. Thanks again.
Thank y'all and love you guys.
Love you
Yeah.
too.
Mhm.
Amazing woman,
Wow.
right?
Just the resiliency of those families to keep on going or whatever with that empty chair at the table, and every holiday, every special moment or whatever that they would usually look into the future to have that family member there and not be there, but they continue to keep on. It's amazing to me, the resilience of
Well, and I go back to again, even just in Joann's case, not only have we lost Kris, but now we have grandchildren.
Yeah.
That we have to talk about, Kris.
Yeah.
We have to keep those memories alive.
Yeah.
You know, that those are things we cannot let it die.
Yeah.
Because they need to know who their father was,
Right.
and the life and the choices,
Right.
and that is painful.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
So.
I can't imagine.
Oh wow! You want to talk about the raffle?
I don't know if I.
Is she not beautiful?
But yeah, I think everybody should have one of those.
With the bags
You
and all.
have, yeah. I think you know a little bit more about the details, but I think that everybody needs to own one of those. And if you want one of those, you have an opportunity to win one and support Beyond the Call of Duty as we do honor our survivors or whatever. So, but this ticket here, it's $25. Get your name in the basket or whatever to win this beautiful thing. To continue the ministry, as I like to call it, to honor our families with Beyond the Call of Duty.
I'm going to tell you a funny story about this ticket. Okay, this is ticket number 0001, right?
Okay.
I'm sitting in, I'm just chit chatting, and there's this gentleman named Drew Davis, and he's in the Air Force, and he works for Phoenix.
Mm.
And just chit chatting. He wants to be a police officer. This is the one that I sent you the information on. You know, I'm right there, and I emailed you and called you, Mickey.
Yeah.
Can you get him into?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's talking to me, and I said, "Hey, you want to buy a raffle ticket? What's it for?" It's Beyond the Call of Duty. Explain to him what we're doing and stuff. How much is it? $25. He's like, yeah, you know what? I'll let me go get some cash. So he goes to his car, gets cash. I had my tickets, but I took another bundle out. This bundle on the very top ticket, the ticket itself was perforated, was ready to fall off. That ticket number is 0001, and that's the one I gave him. I think God was trying to say something.
Yeah.
I think hopefully that ticket will get pulled.
Look at that. Yeah, we'll see.
So we'll see. But it's a beautiful Pan America made by Harley Davidson. It comes with bags. It comes with everything that you see on it. And we cannot say it's brand new because it had to be titled in Beyond the Call of Duty's name. So it is under 100 miles, though. And pretty cool.
Yeah, we appreciate your support.
Yeah. We have another gala, though.
We do.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Police officers.
Yeah.
So I get to be honored to be a part of a Beyond the Call of Duty and to watch or whatever's chaplain, but I'm also a full-time chaplain with the Spokane Police Department, and our vehicle to raise funds because we're a nonprofit that works within the Spokane Police Department is we are putting on a police officers ball October 5th.
Yeah.
It's in Spokane at the historic Davenport Hotel.
Yeah.
And this will be the second time that we've done this.
But it'll be the first time for something that we're going to do special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So we kind of birthed an idea tonight that we would love to bring Beyond the Call some survivor families to our ball so that we could honor them during our event. And so we're really excited about that opportunity to do that this next year.
And you gave me permission to bring, I think it was 5 families.
We can do that.
Yeah. So I'm going to be bringing 5 families over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to make it fun.
Yeah.
We're going to make it fun.
Yeah. We're going to have a good time.
We're going to let these families talk about their loved ones.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about their loved ones.
Yep. We'll have a segment for where we
Yeah.
can honor the families, but also remember their loved ones.
Absolutely.
That night. Yeah.
I think that's powerful.
Yep.
Powerful. It goes into your mission.
Yes.
I just want to thank you for allowing us to be part of it.
Yeah. Well,
Really.
thank you
No,
for all
I
your
really-
support. Yeah.
I just want to thank you for letting me
Yeah.
be part of it. So, looking forward to that. We have a group, a team. We've got Allison and Jason McCarter. We also have Damien and our beautiful Jen. Remember Jen?
Yes.
They are on their way to Florida.
Oh, that's right. I think I saw that on Facebook earlier
they're
today.
going to support Blue Line Bears.
Look at that. And
Yeah.
that's tonight, isn't
That
it?
is tonight. No, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night.
And they're going to be there. And we have 20 families that Beyond the Call of Duty is taking to the gala.
Perfect.
Is that not amazing?
You guys supported them or whatever, and
We're
wow,
sending
they're
20
families.
families to the gala.
That's beautiful.
Spend a couple of days there, enjoy.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
I think again, just like Joann said, these retreats, if I can get the survivors in the right place together, let them grieve, let them talk, let them love each other.
Yeah.
And
It's that idea of community or whatever. Every time their loved one gets talked about, or we do these events to honor those families and support them, it's one more step in their healing.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. We'd love to be part of, even if it's just a small piece, to help them along or whatever, because they sacrifice so much or whatever. I mean, it's even a sacrifice to allow their family member to work in law enforcement, much less lose them.
Yeah. And then finally, we are going to start building the route for next year. The route will change slightly based on this year's officers, because we'll be running 2 years consecutively.
Yeah.
And so we'll be visiting 2 families, or 2 years of family.
Yeah.
So last year and this year. So once that route's built, and we'll probably have it built by November, because the add-ons can be added next year.
Yeah.
And then we'll publish it. You're going to be part of that.
Yeah.
You already said you're taking time out for that. Yeah. But I can't get you to come here, right? Exactly. If I get you over here to say now, we have this.
It's like video proof.
Right,
here,
video
right?
proof. Great. Well, it's Friday night. We don't want to take too much of everyone's time. Bless you all for, again, being part of this and supporting us. Let's read some comments, and then we can get out of here. Lou says, from Vegas.
Hi, Lou.
And look at that. He says, hey, Mickey.
Hey.
Donna, come back to Florida. Yeah, it is. I would love to come back to Florida. Evening, JC, Passion, the rest of the EOW. Evening, Passion. Good evening, Linda.
Hey, look at Richard. I rode with Richard on the ride.
You did, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He drove and I slept in the side of the car or something like that. Good to see you, Richard.
Christy, Brittany, Ivy, Richard, hello. Hi, Billy from Delta. Yes, you do take care of the Blue Line family. Cynthia, good evening from Vegas. That's interesting. Cynthia's in Yakima and Blue's in Vegas. Yeah.
What's going on there?
That's what I'm saying. Melissa, good
Hi,
evening.
Melissa.
Mickey was just talking about you and Lance and sends his love.
Yeah, praying for you guys. I know it's a difficult season.
Samantha, we love you. Joe, and we love our Kris. Yes, Samantha, thank you. Linda, thank you for your service, Kris. David, he was my cousin, but loved him. Very good, very good.
Thanks, David.
You know, and again, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Cousins, but he's
speaks to his character exactly.
Exactly
what Mom said.
Yeah. That was just a giving, loving, and absolutely.
If you were in his circle, he embraced you.
Yeah. Till Valhalla, brother. Yes, Jerry. David says, Jojo. Evening, your W. Thoughts and prayers with all of you. Thanks, Scott. Linda says, my friend Joann. Yes. Evening, Eddie. Love you. He loved karaoke. We got to see if there's any video with Kris and karaoke, and we should do another photo and add a video.
No, that'd be fun.
Wouldn't that be fun?
It's got to be some cell phone coverage.
There's got to be something. Yeah. Maybe even when he was in uniform. Well, he did the drive-by.
Oh, there you go.
Cool in the Gang.
Right.
Did anyone capture that?
We'll have to ask. Maybe it was his sister, right? Maybe sister captured it.
Patty, good evening from Texas. Thank you, Patty. Thanks, Cynthia.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Yes, that is true. Absolutely, Donna. Meet up with us on the next route. Oh my God, Eddie, we love you, and we're so he's there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's there.
Have a good time for us.
Yes. Hey, Jimmy, you do not have a chicken. Jim, is that really a chicken, headless chicken, or what is on there? Love you, brother. Good. Well, let's get some videos and pictures, and we can do a second round. That's awesome.
Very cool.
There we go. So if we can get
shout out to his family and his kids.
Absolutely.
If you guys come back and watch this or whatever, it was an honor to hear a little bit about how much of a great man and officer he was. So thanks for sharing that with
brother,
us. Brother
and friend and dad. So absolutely. And we want those stories to keep on being shared. So again, to reaching out to all our survivors, please, if you've got photographs and you got stories and you want to share them and you want to talk, or you don't want to talk, Mickey and I'll do all the talking.
Right.
But we want to share the photographs. We want to humanize the badge. We want people to know that this badge that they wear is heavy. George Strait's song is true. George Strait that did the heavy badge.
Yeah, weight
of the badge. Yeah, and these men and women have a story that needs to be told and needs to be shared, and it needs to be told on and on and on again. So that's all we want to try and do. Let the families know we love them. Let the families know their loved ones are going to be remembered, and we're going to remember them today, tomorrow, the next year, every year that we can. Our volunteer group tries its best to keep a daily reminder going, and if it wasn't for our volunteers, then we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So, love you guys. It's Friday night, so I'm going to leave you with two things. One is my normal spiel, which is no drinking and driving.
There you go.
If you see an emergency vehicle pulled over, please, please, please either move over, stop, or pull over or something, but don't run into them. If you are texting and driving, please drop the phone. And don't texting and driving, and make sure you wear a seatbelt. To all our beautiful men and women that serve and protect us, to all of our beautiful men and women that once served and protected us, our hearts go out to you. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for choosing to wear a blue uniform, green uniform, white uniform, and wear a badge. So, cheers.
Have a good night, everybody.
And finally, I leave you with a small video that beautiful Kris created for me, and I'm actually really proud of it. And thank you, guys. Love you guys. Good night. Have a blessed, blessed, blessed Friday and a blessed weekend. See you next Friday night. And to our team in Florida, have fun. Love you guys and have a blast.
Good night.